morning, children. We can continue that same chapter, system of particles and rotational motion. So in the last class, we were studied about one new term, what is torque, which is actually the moment of force, that means the rotational analog of force itself. And then we discussed about angular momentum. Angular momentum is actually the rotational analog of that linear momentum. Am I right? And then now we can study about some other new topics related with that of the motion of a rigid body. So first of all, when a rigid body, what is the condition for the equilibrium of a rigid body itself? Next we want to discuss about the condition, the equilibrium of a rigid body. So we know that as in the case of a rigid body, the motion of a rigid body means that one is consists actually translational motion and that of rotational motion. As in the case of a rigid body, whenever we are describing the motion of a rigid body, two types of motion we want to consider. The first one is translational motion and the next one it is the rotational motion of that particle. So whenever a rigid body it is said to be in equilibrium, that one want to satisfy the two conditions. First of all, that one want to attain the translational equilibrium, and then that one want to attain the rotational equilibrium also. And we know that as in the case of this translational motion, whenever we are considering, as in the case of a rigid body, when it is moving, suppose we have a sphere, metallic sphere, if it is coming down through an inclined plane, it has the translational motion, and at the same time, if it is rotating like this, it has rotational motion also. So we know that when this rigid body it is said to come to in an equilibrium condition, mechanical equilibrium condition, that one want to attain the translational equilibrium condition and also the rotational equilibrium condition itself. And whenever we are focusing on the translational motion of a body, we know that there will be the presence of an external force acting on that system. And because of this force on that body, there will be the presence of a linear momentum. So we can say that a rigid body will be in translational equilibrium when the total force, in different way we can say, when the total force acting on that system is equal to 0. Sigma of F, total force experienced on the particles of that system, external force experienced by the particle on that system, it is equal to 0. We can say that that body attained which type of equilibrium? That body attained the translational equilibrium itself. Or otherwise we can say that there is no change in the linear momentum of that body. There is no change in which momentum? There is no change in the total linear momentum of that body, means we can say that that body attained which equilibrium? That body attained the translational equilibrium itself. And at the same time, in order to attain the equilibrium condition of a rigid body, that one not only want to attain the translational equilibrium, that one want to attain which equilibrium also? That one want to attain the rotational equilibrium also. And rotational equilibrium means we know that that is into the terms of torque. The rotational analog of force, it is torque itself actually. And at the same time, whenever there is a torque, there will be a momentum in that body, and that momentum it is actually known as angular momentum. So we can say that a body which is in rotational motion, that will attain the rotational equilibrium when the total torque experienced by the particle in that system is equal to 0. Or otherwise we can say that there is no change in the angular momentum. Total angular momentum of that system it is conserved. There is no change in the total angular momentum of that system of particles. And when a system attains both of this equilibrium, then we can say that that rigid body attains the condition of mechanical equilibrium. Understood? That is, when a body it is in rotational motion, whenever we are describing the motion of a rigid body, it has two types of motion at a time. One is there will be the presence of a translational motion and there will be the presence of a rotational also. And in this chapter we are focusing on the rotational motion of that particles or body. But whenever we are considering the equilibrium condition of a rigid body, that system want to attain the two conditions. The first one is the total translational motion, force, or the translational equilibrium that one want to attain, and also the rotational equilibrium. And what is the condition to attain the translational equilibrium? The condition to attain the translational equilibrium is translational motion is because of force. Therefore, the total external force experienced by the particle in that system must be equal to 0. In simple way you can say. But we know that whenever we are applying a force on that system, there is a linear momentum. Therefore, we can say that if the total linear momentum of that system is not varying with respect to time, then also that system attains which equilibrium? Translational equilibrium. Then what is the condition to attain the mechanical equilibrium? The condition to attain the mechanical equilibrium, rotational equilibrium. Rotational equilibrium means, rotation means that is because of torque. Therefore, the condition to attain the rotational equilibrium is the total torque experienced by the particle of that system must be equal to 0 itself. And if there is no torque, there will not be any change in the angular momentum of that system. Then we can say that the total angular momentum of that system must be equal to 0 itself. So, if you are rewriting this one, the total force experienced by the particle means if number of particles are there means it become F1 plus F2 plus etc. of Fn, that is equal to 0. And the total torque experienced by the particle is equivalent to 0 means you can write sigma of tau, that is equal to torque experienced by the first particle plus torque experienced by the second particle plus etc. of torque experienced by the nth particle become equivalent to 0 itself. And at the same time, whenever you are considering the force experienced by the first particle, it has components. Therefore, you can write that is, if you are considering the ith particle, Fix plus Fiy plus Fiz. Three components will be there. Therefore, in order to attain the equilibrium, sigma of Fix is equal to 0, sigma of Fiy equal to 0, and sigma of Fiz is equal to 0. Or otherwise, into the terms of torque also you can say that sigma of tau Ix is equal to 0, sigma of tau Iy is equal to 0, and sigma of tau Iz is equal to 0. Therefore, in order to attain the total mechanical equilibrium of a single particle, that one want to attain 6 conditions. Components whenever we are considering. And then, as in the case of a rigid body itself, there are some cases in which that system attain partial equilibrium. That means sometimes that will attain the translational equilibrium, but there will not be rotational equilibrium. And the reverse one also. That means the system will attain the rotational equilibrium, but there is no translational equilibrium. That is, for example, suppose we have a road. Which is suspended at the center like this. This distance is A and this distance is A. And here we are applying a force F1, and here also, other end also we are applying a force that is F2. And this force will be acting along this direction, and this force it is acting like this. So in this case, whenever we are considering the total force of the system, that will not be equal to 0. Total force acting on the system is not equal to 0 itself. But what about the moment? That means the torque. Moment of force. Moment of force or torque. The moment of force or torque at this point means this is the force F1, this is the perpendicular distance. Therefore, it becomes F1A acting along this direction. And the moment of force at this end means that is also force F2. Two equal forces, F itself you can take Fa. Therefore, this moment is along this direction clockwise and the other moment it is acting in the anti-clockwise sense, means opposite sense. Therefore, the total moment or the torque is equal to 0. So, here as in the cases of this system, the total force is not equal to 0 means that system is not in translational equilibrium. But total moment is equal to 0. That means torque is equal to 0 means this one attains which condition? Rotational equilibrium. Therefore, this is an example for partial equilibrium of a rigid body. That is, here there is no translational equilibrium, but that one attains which equilibrium? That one attains the rotational equilibrium condition. And at the same time, suppose the forces it is acting like this. F1 along this direction and F2 it is acting like this, two equal and opposite forces. In the previous case, both equal and acting in the same direction, same line of action, downward. But here it is acting in opposite direction. In this cases, F1 total force is equal to 0. Because one force is in a downward direction, other force it is acting in the upward direction or same body, but not at the common point, at two different points, two different line of action it is. So, total force is equal to 0 means that one attains which equilibrium? Translational equilibrium. But what about the moment? Here the moment is F1A along this direction, and here the moment it is F2A. But look at the direction, both are acting in the same sense. Therefore, in this case, there is a rotation. Rotational equilibrium. There is a rotation itself. No, here the system total force is equal to 0. Okay, therefore, and here the body it is attaining, there is a rotation it is there. Total force is 0, therefore translational equilibrium, but the body it is undergoing what? That body it is undergoing rotation. So in this way, two equal and opposite forces acting on a body at two different points constituting a rotation in that body. A pair of equal forces separated by a distance causing the rotation in that body means that is said to be coupled, constituting couple itself. Couple means torque itself. So here in this situation there is no here in this situation we know that the total force on this body means the force F1 is acting in this direction and F2 it is acting in this direction means the total force is 0. That means it is in translational equilibrium. But the moment of the force means at this point due to this force F1, the moment is acting in this direction, and at this point the moment it is acting in this direction, that means in the same sense, which means that the torque is not get cancelled. That means this rod will be get twisted from that equilibrium position. That means here translational equilibrium it is attained, but here there is no rotational equilibrium. That means that body will get rotated. That means that body will be get twisted, or there will be the presence of a torque in that body. Therefore, this is an example for the situation in which partial equilibrium condition of there is a translational equilibrium, but there is no rotational equilibrium of that body itself. And in such a way, in this way, here F1 is equal to F2. Two equal and opposite forces get separated by a distance. Two forces are there, F1 and F2, but that two forces are not acting at a common point. That two forces are get separated by a distance. So two forces constitute here a couple or that of torque. And the couple means that is equal to the product of either of the force. The product of either of the force into the perpendicular distance of separation between that two force itself. That is actually constituting a couple in this system itself. And that is, for example, so coupled means that is a pair of equal forces which produces, there is no translational motion, there will be the presence of only rotational motion. For example, when we are trying to open the lid, whenever we are trying to open the lid of a body, whenever we are trying to open something to a lid of a body, actually we are applying force. Am I right? One force along this direction and the other force along this direction. This finger is moving this direction, F1 force, and this finger it is moving this direction, F1 and F2 get separated by certain distance. So whenever you are rotating that lid of a body, that is actually constituting a rotational motion there, and there is no translational motion. That is actually forming there a couple. That is an example, one of the best example for couple itself. And another one example of the couple in our daily life, that is actually the magnetic compass. The magnetic compass which is pivoted over a needle, north and that of south pole. So in the presence of the earth magnetic field, this north pole will be get deflected towards one direction and this will be get deflected towards the other direction. That is why it is get rotating before coming at rest and showing the north-south direction. That is also one of the best example for the rotation without translation. That means that is constituting the couple there itself. And how can you calculate the couple? Couple means torque itself, that is the product of either of the force, because here the force is equal in magnitude, either of the force into the perpendicular distance of separation between that two forces itself. Okay, so that's about couple. So next we can study about the principle of moments. So the principle of moments we can study with the help of a lever, an ideal lever. An ideal lever means that is actually a thin long rod, thin long metal rod itself. Which is pivoted over a point. And this point at which it is gets suspended or pivoted, it is known as fulcrum. So this is the pivoted point, and here there is a thin rod, it is placed like this, and there is a force F1 on this body at this point acting along this direction, and another one force F2, it is acting on this body in this direction. And these two forces F1 and F2, it is acting in the same direction. Therefore, this will be get balanced here with the help of an upward force, which is actually known as what? The reaction. Normal reaction itself. So, which are the conditions for the translational equilibrium and which are the conditions for the rotational equilibrium of this system? And one of the familiar example for this lever system is actually for you people see. So, whenever you people go to the playground, park and all, there will be the presence of a seesaw. Seesaw is actually one of an ideal example for the lever, ideal lever system itself. And then there is the presence of the weight balance, that balancing weight. That is also, the weight balance is also an example for the lever system, which is a hand in the middle and the other two ends we are keeping the weights. That is actually an example for what? Ideal lever system itself. So here, first of all, you can check in order to get the what is the principle of moment. Before that, first of all, you can check what is the condition for translational equilibrium. The condition for translational equilibrium means the total force acting on that system must be zero. So here F1 and F2 is acting in downward direction, and the normal reaction it is acting in upward direction. So if F1 and F2 become equal to the normal reaction R, which is acting in the upward direction, we can say that that is in which equilibrium? Translational equilibrium itself. So F1 plus F2 equal to R means that is said to be in which equilibrium? Translational equilibrium. That is F1 plus F2 minus of R is equal to 0 itself. Next, what will be the condition for the rotational equilibrium? So, the condition for that rotational equilibrium is if this is the force F1 from the fulcrum, if this is at a distance of d1, and here this is the force F2, this is gets separated at a distance of d2 from here. So, what is the condition for the rotational equilibrium? The moment of this force about this point must be equal to moment of this force about this point. Rotational equilibrium means the total moment must be equal to 0 itself. And then whenever we are finding the moment acting in the direction anti-clockwise direction must be taken as positive. Moment acting in which direction? Moment acting in the anti-clockwise direction it is taken as positive, and the moment in the clockwise direction it is taken as negative itself. So what is the condition for total moment? The moment of this force F1 means that is F1 into this distance, that is d1, because this d1 itself is the perpendicular distance of that force from the axis about which it is get rotating. This is the point about which it is going to be get rotated. So this force F1, and from the force F1 this is the line of action of that force, and this is the perpendicular distance. Line of action of force, torque or that of couple means we know that that is the product of that force into the perpendicular distance of separation of that force from the axis of rotation. The line of action of force and the axis perpendicular distance. But here this one itself is the perpendicular distance, therefore it is F1 d1. And that is positive because it is in anti-clockwise direction. And the moment due to this force F2 means that is F2 d2, and that is taken as negative because that is acting in clockwise direction. Rotation it is coming in force along this direction, therefore anti-clockwise rotation itself. This must be equal to 0. That is the condition for what? That is the condition for rotational equilibrium itself. So from here you can write it as F1 d1 is equal to F2 d2, and this is the famous principle of moment. F1 d1 is equal to F2 d2. And then in our daily life there are the examples, for many examples are there for this lever system. Scissors, whenever you are trying to cut pepper and or by using scissors, in the middle point, that is actually what? The pivoted end, and the other end it is that I will say fulcrum at the middle point. And here, as in the cases of this lever system, in most of the cases F1 means that is actually the load, and this distance is actually known as load arm. Load arm. And here this is the effort. This force, it is the effort, and this end is known as the effort arm. So F1 d1 is equal to F2 d2. You can write it as load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. And this is actually what is the principle of moment itself. Principle of moment. And then there are many examples are there. That is, suppose you wanted to lift a heavy weight. We are using with the help of a rod or something. And here the middle point becomes the fulcrum, this end become the load, and this side we are whatever effort we are giving, that is the effort arm itself. And from this formula F1 d1 is equal to F2 d2. F1 d1 is equal to F2 d2. We can write it as F1 by F2 is equal to what? d2 by d1. So here this F1 by F2 is actually known as MA. MA means that is mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage itself. And if this D2 is greater than D1, the mechanical effort MA become greater than 1. That means it is very easy to lift a heavy load by applying a less effort. That is actually the mechanical advantage. If the mechanical advantage it is coming as more than 1, it is very easy to lift. Suppose you want to lift a heavy weight here, you wanted to apply a less effort only in order to lift that one by increasing this distance. There are many examples. Your nail cutter and that of scissors, and then there are seesaw, and then the weight balance, etc. are some familiar examples. So this mechanical advantage condition, it is very important, and this is the principle of moment, that is also very important. Should study it. Okay. In the first part of this chapter, we studied about the center of mass of a body. So the next, what is meant by the center of gravity of a body? So we know that the center of mass of a system of rigid body, or center of mass of a system of particle, means that is a point where the whole mass of that system that is supposed to be get concentrated itself. So that is, there are many familiar examples. Most of the boys, they are mainly or familiarly they are doing, they are balancing the book on the tip of their finger, or that of a ball, that means a volleyball, or that of a basketballs and all, they are trying to keep on their finger. How is it possible? Means actually they are keeping, if they are trying to finding the ball on their tips of their fingers, means actually they are keeping that one along the center of mass and that of the center of gravity. This body will have a weight mg which is acting in the downward direction, and this finger is giving a normal reaction which is in the upward direction. If both of this one it is get balanced, then that system, or that of that ball or that of that book or something, he can, or that person can keep on their finger. That means they are balancing that one along that point of center of mass or that of center of gravity. Center of gravity itself. So, as in the cases for a system of n number of particles, each of the individual, if m1 particle is there, means it has a weight m1g, and the second particle has a weight m2g, and the third particle has a weight m3g, etc. Therefore, whenever you are choosing the I particle, you can write the weight acting on that particle is mi into g. So here, when the weight of the body it is acting downward direction, it is balanced by the normal reaction. That one attained which equilibrium? Translational equilibrium. That one attained the translational equilibrium itself. So, but we know that as in the case of a rigid body, in order to attain the condition of rotational equilibrium, that one mechanical equilibrium, that one want to attain the rotational equilibrium condition also. If that is not attaining its rotational equilibrium, during that time he can't hold the ball on the tip of the finger, that will be get rotated and that will fall down. So that one want to attain the rotational equilibrium, means the torque is equal to 0. But torque means we know that force into distance. Force means actually that is the weight of the individual particle in the presence of the gravitational field. Weight means nothing but that is the force experienced by a body into the presence of the gravitational field itself. Therefore, the force means that is mass into g, mi into g. For a system of n particles, that is I is equal to 1 to n mig into the distance ri. But here the gravitational force means that is a constant. That is not varying. So actually the center of gravity of a body means that is the center of mass of that system itself, as in the case of a body which is placed in where? Placed in the presence of a uniform gravitational field itself. or center of gravity of a body means that is the point where the rotational torque is equivalent to 0 into the presence of a uniform gravitational field itself. And when a body it is placed in the presence of a uniform gravitational field, the center of gravity and center of mass of the body will get coincides. When a body it is in the presence of a uniform gravitational field, that means near to the surface of the earth, as in the case of a body with uniform dimension, its center of mass and that of center of gravity will be get coincides itself. The same point it will be. But there are some examples in which the presence of the center of mass and that of the center of gravity of a body does not get coincides. One of the familiar example is our Mount Everest. Mount Everest, the point of center of gravity and center of mass, it is not get coincides. That is actually because of its high altitude. Understood? And then how can you calculate the point of center of gravity of a body with irregular shape or that of irregular shape means? First of all, you can take a body with any shape. And then first you choose a point A and hang this body at this point. That body will come and stand in the presence of the gravitational field, and then draw a line, A dash. Next you choose another one point B and hang that one. That means not here. First you hang like this, the body we choose to like this. Same body I am drawing here. First you hang that one. That is with the stand here in a straight way. Then you can draw a straight line connecting between these two. Next you choose another one point B and keep the body here. This is point B. Rotate it. Keep the point B here. Point B. From here that will reach here. Point B. Change it. And then hang it. Then again you can draw a line. So this was the point B. You hang that one there. That will come at rest at one point. Draw a line connecting between. In that same way, you can choose another one point. Hang it that one in the presence of gravitational field while it comes at rest and draw a straight line. And you can see that at one point, the point of intersection of all these lines. And that line will be actually the center of gravity of their body. Not only center of gravity, center of mass also of a body of regular shape which is placed in the presence of a uniform gravitational field, that means near to the surface of earth itself. So that's about center of gravity of a body itself. Okay.